Montana, this is an intense, scary film. Was there something about the premise or even your character Lisa that drew you to be a part of the movie?
Um, you're right. It's an intense film. I think Lisa was sort of the light in all of this, which is why I was so originally captivated by her. I think she offers a little bit of solace in kind of this family's chaotic um thing that they have going on. So I gravitated towards her instantly.
How was Lisa then originally described to you, or was there not much on the page?
She had I think there was a specific vision for her, but the writers and the director especially really let me play with the character. I think it was just important to everybody that she was a light and she was sort of um there is so much darkness in the entire thing. So I feel like we really wanted her to just feel like a safe place for every member of the family. And that was the most important. But no, she didn't have a specific character breakdown. I think it was more of an energy that they wanted that hopefully she brought.
This family has been through so much, so certainly there needs to be a little light at the end of the tunnel or someone to lean on during these difficult days. And I feel like Lisa is a great place for them to, you know, have that little lightness in the movie and sort of, take a little bit of away from that beautiful darkness that prevails in the film. What kind of advice or maybe even um, tips did um, Aunt give you along the way, director Aunt Novacek?
Tips in terms of
Well, did he give you any advice along the way about notes or anything about while you're playing these moments, maybe to try to make them a little lighter for you or to try to, guide you as far as specific scenes?
yeah, I think especially in my relationship with my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, I think it was important to show that we do have a really strong history, which is why us sort of coming back together was a big deal and why the ending is sort of a big deal. So I feel like in the scenes where they were a little bit more intimate, I think the notes were just dig as deep as you can on what our perceived past experience and relationship was, because obviously that's not written in the story. So it was sort of just give in your mind her a history that's deep with this family because it does run deep. She's not the new girlfriend or just a fling. She's been in this family's life for a very long time and she knows them very well and she experienced tragedy with them. And so them rekindling and her sort of coming back into their lives during this time period, I think is a big deal.
There's some incredible cast members to this film as well. Bruce Dern, Tyrese Gibson, Shawnee certainly is incredible. Taryn Manning. Were you excited to share a scene or scenes with someone or someone's in particular?
It was so exciting for me. I've watched Taryn Manning on screen since I was 11, 12 years old. So I remember watching her in Crossroads and like being obsessed with that movie. So for me, that was huge. And then just sharing the screen with all of those actors, I feel so honored. Everyone was so kind. Everyone and we just all collaborated really well together. And for me, it was definitely a life-changing experience. I tell every time I see anyone from the movie, it's been about 6 months. I tell every single one of them that was one of the most memorable experiences of my life, and it still is. It was such a beautiful cast, and yeah, I feel honored to work with all of them. And Shawnee is incredible. We had a couple of scenes together, and she's a brilliant actress, obviously, but working with her in person, you're captivated by her energy. So that was another amazing collaboration that I feel like I had.
There's some epic scenes, some dark, some light moments though as well that we've talked about. What were some of your favorite scenes to film, or maybe ones that you're most proud of?
I honestly feel like every scene with Lisa in particular is important. The ice skating rink scene was very fun because there was a little bit of ad-libbing and we were kind of just doing our own thing. And the chemistry between us, I feel like in that scene, in the dialogue in particular, is really our personalities shining through our characters. So that was really fun. And then I don't know if I'm allowed to spoil the ending, but I've never filmed a scene that was of the ending, which is a little more gory. Um, and that was really fun. I remember when I first read the script, I was like, if I get this role, I'm very excited for that end scene because it's unlike anything I've ever done before, and it's definitely takes you out of your comfort zone. So
We talk about being at like 100 adrenaline wise for this
mhm.
movie throughout every scene. How did you shake off a long day of filming?
The cast and the crew definitely helped. They sort of immediately felt like family. But I think for the scenes that are particularly adrenaline inducing, I think it almost works in the scene because I have adrenaline in the scene. So I just sort of tried to use whatever nerves or adrenaline that I was feeling and use that for the character's adrenaline that they were experiencing in real time. So I feel like it sort of worked itself out.
What do you think it is about Bloodline Killer that's just going to make it such a fast fan favorite horror film?
I think it's like you said, it's fast and it's fun, but there's also depth to it. I think horror can be tricky. And when I first read the script, I loved it so much because I felt like every character had their sort of own complex arc. And you care about all of them. You care about every single person in an individual way. And then you're rooting for all of them. So I think it's the writers did such an incredible and the director did such an incredible job at combining fun horror with also depth and emotion and that can often be hard to do.
What's next for you? What have you been busy working on lately?
I just moved to New York City, so I was LA based before. So I am now, as of 5 days ago, living in New York. I had my first audition here a couple of days ago. It's definitely a little trickier to run around the city and to find self-tape studios than it is in LA. So I'm sort of learning to navigate that. But yeah, I'm now being pushed for projects in New York. So I would love now that I'm here to start working locally.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible work you do on our screens?
I'm so excited for everyone to see it and to enjoy it the way that I enjoyed filming it. And I think it'll just be a fun ride. And I'm super excited for its release.